Hi, I'm Lori Michael Fitness, specializing in senior fitness in the home, and that could be also on Zoom. With the help of my friend Kim today, we're going to work on our tushies, our glutes. Why? Because it helps our posture, it helps alleviate back pain, so for good reasons. Also helps protect your knees, and especially when you're doing lifting, and also improves your balance if you have to stand on one leg to do certain exercises or just movement like working in the garden perhaps, or lifting something off the floor. We're going to get started.
Okay, so the position we're going to take for today's exercises is on the back. We'll show you that position first and then show you how we're going to warm up. So Lori's laying on her back comfortably, her arms by her side, her feet are a little bit out from her knees but not too far. So this will be the position we're doing our exercises in. But we're going to pull her out of that position just to warm up the back in a comfortable exercise. Briefly. The hands go under the shoulders, the knees under the hips. That's a quadruped position. We're going to lift through the shoulder blades, pushing the shoulder blades away up towards the ceiling, tucking the pelvis and rounding the back. It's called a mad cat. And then we release down into a little arch. Draw your belly in as you tuck your pelvis, push out across the shoulder blades, and gently release. You don't need to hold either position, just go into the stretch and out of the stretch. No need to rush, just feel comfortable in your movement. When you've done 8 to 10, then you're going to turn onto your back. We're going to be doing a glute bridge. A glute bridge, it is the glutes, the back of the hip, that's going to power the exercise. Before we start, let's talk a moment about your posture. You want to be relaxed in the jaw, the throat, the neck, long in the torso. So that means we're not pushing the low back down. So Lori's going to point to her waist. You want a very, very light lift in the waist, but underneath the hips is solidly attached to the floor, and under the ribs are solidly attached. So we're not pushing the ribs up. Lori's going to hinge from the hip, lifting up in one piece and back down. As she lifts up, she's going to tighten up her torso and then back down. You don't need to squeeze your glutes. We're just stiffening up the torso to enhance our posture. But the motion at the hip is what's going to work the glute, that extension of the hip. Okay, so there's some ways we can progress this as you find that you're not feeling as much work in the glute. The first way is to take some light weights and just place them over the hips. You can hold your hands there and then continue the motion up and down. That's making the gluteal muscles work a little bit harder against gravity to straighten out the hips and come down. You can also use heavier weights when you need it. And another way is use something that will bring your feet off the ground. So Lori is going to demonstrate with this box. But it can be something lower than that. It can be a little step stool. You can move in a little bit closer with your hips. And then she's going to go back into her bridge. This is not all in one day. You would want to start without any weights, start without your feet up on the box, just with your feet on the floor, learning the motion itself, and then as you progress. Here, she's getting more range of motion because her feet are up higher. So she can come up higher and down lower to work the glutes. Okay, very nice. For each of those exercises, as you progress, maybe start with 8 to 10 repetitions and progress to anywhere between 15 and 20 repetitions. The next thing we're going to do is use what's called a loop band, which you can purchase online at any online fitness store, Perform Better, Power Systems. It's called a loop band, and she's going to put the band around her lower legs just below the knee. And this is going to work the outer glute muscles. We just worked the rear glute. This is going to be for the outer glute muscles. Your feet go wide. Keep the heels down, pull the toes up just a little bit, and then you're just going to stretch the band, pushing the knees apart, and then release. And push the knees apart, and then release. Now the next progression is knees apart, hold the knees apart, and go back into your bridge, lift and lower. The next progression would be you stay up at the top, release the tension of the band, and then stretch the band. So we're doing the same thing we started with, it's just our hips are up. And then the last progression, come all the way down with your knees together. As you go up, you stretch the band. As you come down, you release. You stretch the band as you go up and come down and release. I'd say 10, 15 of each exercise. There you go.
Okay, so as Kim mentioned, you don't have to do all of them at the same time, but at least do them 3 times a week, and you can vary things as you get stronger. Okay? See you next time. Thanks for watching.